The smell of oil and metal was the only constant in He Xiaowon's life. At 19, the textile factory wasn't just a workplace. It was the stage of her survival, a deafening labyrinth of machines where every minute was converted into a fraction of a yuan. She moved with the silent efficiency of someone who had learned to disappear, to become invisible to avoid unwanted attention. But invisibility had failed her. The doctor's voice, dry and detached, still echoed in her mind, drowning out the roar of the machinery. "You're pregnant. It's triplets. Triplets." The word felt like a cosmic miscalculation, a cruel joke played by fate. 1 month. Just a single fleeting encounter, a night of desperation and need. And now, 3 lives were nestled in her womb. "Are you going to keep the babies?" The doctor's question was rhetorical, heavy with judgment. Xiaowon pressed her lips together, feeling the weight of social condemnation. "You factory girls will do anything for money. You're only 19. Even if you're short on cash, you should have protected yourself." Protection. A bitter irony. The only protection she knew was the barrier she built between herself and the world, a wall that was now crumbling under the weight of 3 beating hearts. Money. Yes, money was the engine of everything, the currency of survival, the reason she was here, and the reason the family who had taken her in, or rather exploited her, saw her only as a money-making machine. That day, the factory's routine was shattered by an unusual frenzy. "Hurry up. Mr. Hua is inspecting today. Everyone be alert." The name, Hua, was whispered with a mix of dread and fantasy. Hua Jinsi, the capital's wealthiest man, the heir to a lineage that, they said, had proudly maintained a single-child line for 17 generations. A myth, an urban legend that the female workers turned into a vain hope. "They say no woman has ever caught Mr. Hua's eye," whispered Wang Na, a roommate with boundless ambition. "If he takes an interest in me, he'll only love me. Why would I ever need to work again?" Xiaowon watched the drama with cold detachment. Mr. Hua was just another predator in a world full of them. She had more urgent problems than a tycoon's inspection. Her phone vibrated. An Alipay notification. A transaction of 2,530 yuan. The purchase her stepmother, Ma Fugue, would use as proof of her indecency. "He Xiaowon, you barely buy food for yourself and work everywhere. Did you manage to buy something on December 12th? Something so expensive. You must be sleeping with a lot of men, huh?" The accusation was a familiar poison. Xiaowon felt the bile rise. What nonsense are you talking about? But the truth was irrelevant to them. The He family, who had taken her from the orphanage under the promise of a home, saw her only as an investment. An investment that now, with the news of the pregnancy, became a valuable asset to be negotiated. The scene played out in her mind like a repetitive horror movie. The brother, the family parasite, and the sister-in-law, pregnant with a single child, who felt like the queen of the lineage. "The money on your sister-in-law's card was spent by you," Ma Fugue shrieked, her voice shrill. "She only spent a little money. Did you really need to come here and fight?" "How ugly," the sister-in-law retorted, with the false indignation of someone who feels entitled. Xiaowon tried to argue, her voice choked with injustice. "She tied my card without my knowledge and spends money buying things every day. And you call that cheating? I'm doing this to give the He family an intelligent child. You already owe 100,000 on Jingdong." The argument escalated, revealing the rot at the core of that family. The dowry. It was always about the dowry. "I've already arranged the marriage with old Zhang from the neighborhood. Wedding next month." Old Zhang. 70 years old. The shock paralyzed her. Marry a 70-year-old man? I don't agree. This isn't a matter of agreeing. You, a factory worker, someone wanting to marry you is already good. Do you still think you're a university student from the city? The humiliation was complete. But the final blow came with the revelation of the secret she guarded like a treasure. The acceptance letter from Huaqing University, torn up by her stepmother. "Who says I'm not a university student? Don't forget I got into university last year, And you tore up my acceptance letter. The silence that followed was more deafening than the factory noise. The truth, naked and cruel, was exposed. In their eyes, she was just a money-making machine, an object to be sold. Get out of here. Her brother's order expelled her from the only place she had ever known as home. Showon found herself on the street, the cold night wind cutting her skin. The doctor's diagnosis, the family's humiliation, the threat of forced marriage. Everything boiled down to a single, desperate goal. I have to earn enough money in 1 month to escape this house. She needed a miracle. And miracles, she knew, came with a price. Fate, however, had already begun to weave its web. At that very moment, the imposing figure of Hua Jinsi entered the factory, and a small incident, a bump, a hurried apology, would seal the beginning of a story that would forever change the course of her life. Mr. Hua, look at me, one of the workers pleaded, offering herself. But Hua Jinsi's eyes, cold and distant, seemed fixed on something no one else saw. He was there to inspect, to maintain order. But chaos, in the form of a desperate pregnant young woman, was about to invade his meticulously controlled life. Old Mr. Hua, the grandfather, had already planted the seed of discord. Who would have thought the influential Hua family has been a single-child line for 17 generations? The old man dreams of having grandchildren, but you avoid women. Hua Jinsi, the man who avoided women, had just crossed paths with the only woman who carried in her womb the salvation and the ruin of his lineage. And the price of that collision would be high for both of them. Chapter 2. The 20,000 per hour contract. Necessity was a more powerful engine than fear. He Showon knew time was running out. The threat of marriage to old Zhong, the pressure from the He family, and above all, the responsibility for the 3 lives growing inside her, pushed her toward a desperate decision. The advertisement, almost clandestinely pasted on a pole, was vague: personal assistant, high remuneration, absolute discretion. The address, however, was unmistakable. The skyscraper housing the headquarters of the Hua Group. She stood there, in the luxurious waiting room, feeling like a fish out of water. The simple dress, the tied-back hair, the aura of exhaustion that even cheap makeup couldn't hide. "Hi, I'm here for the interview." Her voice sounded firmer than she expected. The secretary, an impeccable and cold woman, barely glanced at her. "You can leave." "Yes." But before Showon could move, the door to the main office opened. Hua Jinsi, the same man who had inspected the factory, the same man who had accidentally touched her and sparked Wang Na's fury, was there. "Mr. Hua, here's a brave little rabbit," said an assistant, Zhou Hanlin, with a forced smile. "The boss's order, you better comply, or I won't be able to give a satisfactory report." Showon felt a shiver. This man, the epitome of power and coldness, was her potential employer. Fate seemed to have a perverse sense of humor. "Introduce yourself. What's your name?" Hua Jinsi's voice was a dry baritone, without inflection. "He Showon. Underage. Of age, 19 years old. Do you know what this is about?" Showon swallowed hard. She didn't know. But urgency prevented her from hesitating. "I do. I'll do a good job." Hua Jinsi studied her with a gaze that seemed to penetrate her soul, searching for the truth behind the facade of determination. He saw the desperation, yes, but also a spark of resilience that intrigued him. "Surprisingly, I don't mind her approaching me." The thought was strange, an anomaly in his regulated life. "How much will I need?" he asked, referring to the price. Showon, thinking of the money she needed to escape, risked it. "How about 20 per hour?" 20,000 yuan per hour. The amount made her stagger. It was more than she would earn in an entire year at the factory. "Can it be for a longer time? I really need this job." The plea was genuine. Hua Jinsi smiled, an almost imperceptible movement that didn't reach his eyes. 20,000 an hour, and she still wants to marry into the Hua family. I really underestimated her. He interpreted her persistence as greed, a mistake that would soon be revealed. The job was a sham, a performance to satisfy his grandfather's pressure. He needed a temporary fiancé, a distraction. But the situation became complicated that very night. A sudden heat rose in his body, a wave of fire that made him gasp. Zhou Hanlin, the assistant, had been bold enough to drug him, hoping to force a marriage. Shouwan, who was there to sign the contract, saw the panic in Hua Jinxi's eyes. Why is it so hot? Zhou Hanlin, you had the nerve to drug me. Chaos ensued. Shouwan, in an act of desperation and confusion, tried to help, but the situation inverted. Hua Jinxi, in his altered state, mistook her for the cause of his torment. Isn't it just 20,000 an hour? I'll satisfy you. His voice was hoarse, dangerous. What are you going to do? I don't want to. That's not it. Shouwan tried to pull away, but his strength was overwhelming. The misunderstanding deepened. He believed she was there to take advantage of the situation, to raise the price. So, because you saw I was drugged, you raised the price? No, sir, you misunderstood me. I don't do that. The night ended in a confusion of pain and despair. Shouwan fled, leaving behind the trace of an unsigned contract and the certainty that she had lost her only chance of salvation. Days later, the factory was buzzing with gossip. The sister-in-law, Ma Fuguei, and the co-workers surrounded her, the venom dripping from their words. You workers have such messy personal lives that you probably don't even know who the father of the child is. The news of the pregnancy had spread. Triplets, and she still doesn't know who the father is. Relax, old man. Mr. Hua doesn't hate women as much as before. The humiliation was public. Wang Na, the envious one, attacked her with the cruelty of someone who feels superior. He Shouwan, how can you have 7 jobs in one day? Now I understand, you're always busy doing side jobs, as an escort. At least you serve 7 a day. What are you talking about? All my money is earned honestly. Honestly? Pregnant and still talking about honesty? You shameless woman. Pregnant. The climax came with the arrival of Zhou Hanlin, Hua Jinxi's assistant, who confronted her, doubting her innocence. Tell me, how did you get this child? What do you mean? Look. Even Zhou Xiao doesn't believe your innocence. Wait to be fired. Shouwan was alone, cornered. The only thing keeping her standing was the memory of that single encounter, the certainty that the father of her children was Hua Jinxi. But how to prove it? And more importantly, how to survive the He family's fury? The He family, upon learning of the pregnancy and the possibility of a larger dowry, intensified the pressure. I just wanted to marry this girl off and free up the room for the baby. I didn't expect to get 20,000 in dowry. This old man is really rich. 20,000? Then choose a day and marry her off quickly, before it's too late. Desperation led her to an attempted escape, frustrated by her stepmother. Ma Fuguei, this girl wants to run away. Hua Jinxi, please, help me and our child. The call, made amidst the violence and humiliation of the He family, was the thin line that tied her destiny to his. Hua Jinxi, who was in a meeting with his grandfather, heard the appeal, the sound of the fight, the desperation in her voice. If you're lying, I'll finish you. Go there and bring my granddaughter-in-law back. The grandfather, with his sharp insight, perceived the authenticity of the panic. Fate was sealed. The brave little rabbit had pulled the alarm, and the predator, for reasons he still didn't understand, was on his way. Chapter 3. The Rescue and the Proof. The sound of Hua Jinxi's voice on the phone was the last thread He Shouwan was holding on to. She was on the factory floor, surrounded by the He family's fury and the cruel indifference of her co-workers. Ma Fuguei, the stepmother, was about to carry out her threat, determined to force an abortion so as not to lose old Zhang's dowry. Forcing me to marry an old man was wrong from the start. That 200,000 yuan never belonged to you. Shouwan's voice was a thread of resistance. Shut up and give her a good beating, Ma Fuguei ordered her son, Shouwan's brother. The pain came before she could protect herself, a blow that made her gasp. The fear wasn't for herself, but for the lives she carried. "Don't worry, today I'm going to make you lose that bastard in your belly." At that instant, the factory door burst open with a crash that silenced the commotion. Hua Jinxi's figure filled the gap, an imposing silhouette against the setting sun. He wasn't alone. Zhou Hanlin and a team of security guards followed him, the expression on each of their faces one of contained fury. "Take your hands off her." Hua Jinxi's voice was low, but charged with an authority that froze the air. The He family, accustomed to intimidation, hesitated. The brother, a coward by nature, backed away. "Why protect her so much? Do you really think it's Master Hua's child?" Wang Na, the envious co-worker, couldn't contain the provocation. Hua Jinxi ignored her, his eyes fixed on Shouwan, fallen and vulnerable. He approached, and the world seemed to shrink around them. "Don't touch my child. You will regret it," Shouwan whispered, the pain preventing her from screaming. "Stop," Hua Jinxi ordered, extending his hand to her. "I want to see who dares to touch her." The rescue was quick and brutal. The He family, in their greed and ignorance, tried to negotiate, demanding money. "It's just that this He Shouwan is accusing you, saying she's pregnant with your child." "Isn't that a joke?" Ma Fugue tried to justify herself. Hua Jinxi looked at her with glacial contempt. "You arrived." He picked her up in his arms, and Shouwan felt strangely light, protected. "How can she be so light?" he murmured, the concern disguised as irritation. Chaos followed. Hua Jinxi ordered his security guards to give a lesson to the He family and everyone involved in the bullying. "Give them a lesson. Don't spare anyone. I think this factory needs a good renovation." While summary justice was being applied, Shouwan was taken to a private hospital. The diagnosis from the doctor, a trusted man of the Hua family, was the confirmation of everything. "Mr. Hua, Miss He only had a scare. The baby is developing well. It's just that. Tell him. Miss He is really too thin. She seems to have been malnourished for a long time. She's pregnant with triplets. She needs more nutrients than a common pregnant woman. She needs extra care. Otherwise, her body might not support the 3 babies." Triplets. The word, spoken by a stranger, sealed Hua Jinxi's fate. No wonder she felt so light in my arms. The news, which had already reached Grandfather Hua, turned the crisis into a celebration. The girl from that night. She's pregnant. What? 3 at once. "Mr. Hua, this time you've honored the family." The grandfather, the patriarch, was euphoric. The curse of the single-child line, broken by 3 lives all at once. "The ancestors of the Hua family are working hard underground. Ha ha ha. So go quickly and bring your wife back. Yes, yes, yes. When she returns, I'll give her my mine as a greeting. From now on, she is the crown jewel of our Hua family." Shouwan woke up in the Hua mansion, a palace of luxury and silence. The Hua family, the grandfather and the aunts, surrounded her with emotional blackmail was the only weapon they had left. "I'm warning you, call Mr. Hua right away to send $1 million in dowry and a mansion, or else the story of my granddaughter-in-law's abortion won't end like this." Hua Jinxi, upon hearing the conversation, acted with the coldness of a businessman. He protected her, gave her a credit card with no limit, and the promise of a future. "This is my additional card. The money on it has no limit. You can spend freely. This isn't necessary. As soon as you recover, I'll take you to school." The promise of returning to study was the greatest gift he could give. The past, however, wouldn't leave her alone. She returned to the factory to finish her last days of work, an act of stubbornness that put her in danger again. Wang Na's envy and the cruelty of the factory thugs surrounded her. "Don't think that just because Mr. Hua defended you once, you're already his woman. You missed a few days of work and already forgot who you are. You don't even see if you're up to par. Today, you're going to do the work on the entire production line alone." The humiliation turned into violence. The thug, Brother Tao, threatened her. "I've never slept with a pregnant woman before. It's a new experience for me." Showon's scream was muffled by the sound of the door opening. Hua Jinsi was there again, his fury palpable. "You dare to touch my woman? Who the hell dares to hit me?" The final rescue. Hua Jinsi's revenge was complete. He punished everyone involved, from the aggressors to the bystanders. This time, the bystanders of the bullying in the factory are even more guilty. No year-end bonus. Rigorously investigate bullying in the factories. If discovered, never hired again in life. Hua Jinsi's lesson was more than protection. It was a lesson in survival. Hit back. They mistreat you. Can you handle it? Don't be soft on others. If you are, they'll step on you even more. Understand? I learned. Very well. The way back home was the confirmation of her new status. The promise of returning to Huaqing University, her enrollment maintained. I spoke with the director of Huaqing. He said that although you left school, he maintained your enrollment, so you don't need. Thank you. The tenderness, disguised as orders, was Hua Jinsi's new language. He helped her care for her injuries, the ointment applied with unexpected delicacy. "Mr. Hua, do you want to help Miss He with the cream? After applying it, go rest early. Tomorrow, don't go to work secretly. Okay." The prohibition of smoking in the house, the care for the pregnancy. Little by little, Hua Jinsi's wall of ice was melting. "You can call me Hua Jinsi in the future." The future, which was once a threat, was now a promise. He Xiaowan, the pregnant factory worker, had not only found her place as the crown jewel of the Hua family, the mother of the triplets who broke the lineage curse, but she had also found true love and respect. The price of survival had been paid, and the story of their family, built on resilience, unexpected love, and the promise of a bright future, was just beginning. They would face the world together, a united front, with 3 little miracles on the way.